You can practice these as many times as you want. This paper is not expensive. It's not the good paper. You can do this 10 times if you want to get a good one, because we want you to be able to do these skies. All right, the third one is a blue sky with dark clouds like rain clouds, and I wasn't able to find a picture that had that exactly, but this is a good picture for dark clouds. So, since we're going to start with a blue sky again, I won't clean the brush. Start with a wash, because when you think of doing clouds, you want to think of what is underneath the clouds. Like the clouds look like they're on top of the sky. So you do what's underneath first. So we'll just do a wash. Get that fairly even. And then, since we're putting in clouds, we'll put in some white first. In this case, since we're going to make them darker after the white, it doesn't matter if they turn blue. Obviously, you don't want like a real black, so I would say mix the gray on the palette first. And then that looks a little yellow. It's just because of the type of black it is, and that right there is too black. So I'm going to mix a little bit more white, maybe with some blue. If you decide that you've gotten it too dark, you can add white, and it will blend with whatever's on there. If you decide that the clouds are too forward, there's not enough breaking them up, you can add some streaks. Unpainted because I was thinking of the sky. The land is down here. What you can do to make that look more like a rain. Now that looks a little bit hard edge, especially if you have rain clouds. They're like moving in and they're blending with what's behind. So you can take your finger again and you can just soften the edges. It's like finger painting. Okay. Now, I think we should do rain next because that's very similar to that. So, if it's a dark, rainy day, you're probably not going to see blue at all. You're going to see gray. Maybe a little bit gray. One of the things that's very easy to do when you're painting a rainy sky is to get it too dark too fast. So just add a lot of water to this. If you get it too dark, you can take a paper towel and wipe it off. Or you can just add. Another thing you'll notice as I'm painting these, I'm going all the way across and off the paper onto the table. The table surface is one that I ordered because it's not going to be hurt at all by having paint all over it. And it wipes off really easily. So you want to do that because if you stop in the middle of a stroke, you're going to get a line like that or a blobby place, and you don't want that. You want it to be really smooth to start, so you just go all the way across. then, need some skies. What else here? Okay, right away, too dark. So just add white. Just do the mixing on the paper. That's too hard edge. Just kind of dab it. Mix it. Everything, if it's raining, everything is kind of hazy. If you vary the value, which means you have some clouds that are darker than others, it helps also. So some lighter stuff going on down here. Now, while the paint is still wet, you want it to look like it's raining. You can do one of two things. You can either take this flat brush and spread the bristles apart and hold it apart like this, which actually gives you better rain than if you used one of the rake brushes. This is called a rake brush because it's got bristles that are spread apart already. But you don't always want them spread that far, so I think it works better with this. And then you turn the paper and put it on the part that's wet and just bring the paint down. It's just like you're pulling the paint down. And you can actually do layers. You can dip it in darker color. Like if it got too smooth and you can't see the rain anymore. And so, say for instance you are dipping it in the paint and you're pulling this color down and the top edge looks kind of like grass. It doesn't look good anymore. That's not a problem, especially with tempera. You can always smooth it out. You just dip your finger in the water and that edge that looks too much like grass, you can just blend it out. And right there, it looks a little bit too dry. Dip the brush in water, spread the bristles again. One mistake that people make doing rain is not getting it parallel. You need to have the marks going at exactly the same angle that they don't. It's really strange. Like that. And then, so that's the sky. You do the sky, and then you can do, like if you want it to be really far away, you can do the ground kind of over part of that. So instead of this ground, set like those. And this will be, in many ways, this will be easier when you're looking at a picture because you'll have something to look at. You're not going to have to make it up. You're not going to have to look at where the hills are, look at where the big clouds are, or the dark clouds, or whatever. You can look at something and it makes it easier for you.